Tag TV and Tag Radio. Be seen and heard by both technology users and technology producers throughout the state of Georgia and around the world. Low cost, big benefits, powerhouse online branded video and audio has arrived. Tag TV, Tag Radio, there's a lot more to know. Yikes, you're in deep water now. You look up and on the surface, you see sharks. Not just a shark, a school of them circling just above you, ready to strike. Except, in this case, it's the millionaire sharks, Damon John and Kevin Harrington of ABC's Shark Tank. It gets even better. It's not a dream or even an on-demand rerun. It's TAG's Entrepreneurial Society meetup for Shark Pitch, and it's happening this Thursday. Greetings, everyone. It's Tuesday, August 27, 2013, and this is Tech Talk with Technology Association of Georgia President Tino Mandela. I'm your guest host, Frank Baia. The Shark Pitch Meetup will provide entrepreneurs with an update on the requirements to pitch and the schedule of the events leading up to the main event on October 12th, where you will have the opportunity to pitch before Damon John and Kevin Harrington for $10,000. In addition, a panel of experts on funding will provide an update on the latest trends in debt, crowdfunding, angel, and VC investment capital. You will have an opportunity to ask questions, plus network before and after the event. The event begins at 6 and concludes at 7:30 p.m., but networking, it all starts at 5:30. Up to the Tech Talk, to tell us even more, is entrepreneur and CEO of the Ritz Group, Larry White. The Ritz Group is the first in the Southeast to launch a social media capital community and in the nation to webcast Shark Attack and launch Capital Expo, a virtual trade show for companies raising funds. Larry leads the Ritz Group that has quickly become one of the top online and monthly networking organizations connecting entrepreneurs with high net worth angels and venture capitalists. The meetup for Shark Pitch is this Thursday. Get the insider's insights as we Tech Talk with Ritz Group President and CEO and top VC Capital Network for Entrepreneurs leader, Larry White. This edition of Tech Talk is brought to you by GlobalSpeak.com, new media consultants, corporate video and audio communications, video and audio production and distribution, live and virtual event production. Tag TV and Tag Radio is a service of GlobalSpeak.com, creatively delivering powerful marketing, video, and audio solutions. Larry, welcome to Tech Talk.
Hi, Frank. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I'll tell you that I can't think of anything more exciting in the last couple of television seasons, maybe Duck Dynasty, but I think even better than that is the Shark Tank and some of the excitement and activity that goes in seeing the real world as it happens and seeing really honest critiques and honest exploration of real opportunities and people either willing or not willing to put their money up. Let's talk a little bit about the inspiration between that and Shark Pitch. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind your event.
Well, obviously it comes from Shark Tank. I'm not sure how real world Shark Tank is, but I can attest to the fact that it is teaching the world what entrepreneurialism is all about.
Good point.
And particularly the youth, that there's something out there called I want to be an entrepreneur, and I have a vision and I have a dream, and there are people out there that will actually fund that. And we couldn't have a better representative on our media and an award-winning show to do that.
Well, go ahead.
In Shark Pitch, it comes from that same venue in bringing down Damon John and Kevin Harrington to judge our best of Atlanta companies. Not necessarily invest, but to judge our best companies is a great. I think it's a great venue for the city.
Well, I think it's exciting. You know, I think incremental validation over the course of each one of the technology verticals, a little bit at a time, really does build identity in terms of Atlanta becoming a sense of identity and sense of place. It was only just a few years ago where I think a lot of people debated the venture capital marketplace and how real we were in terms of startups and that kind of thing. And I think we both agree that the turnaround just in the last couple of months, certainly last year, has been radical, disruptive, as they say in technology. But let's talk about what's unique about this event as it relates to, say, others at someone like a business launch competition or something like that.
Well, I think what makes it unique, other than Damon John and Kevin Harrington, is the fact that we are promoting the ecosystem and we have strategic partners involved in this event to include the Ritz Group, TAG, and TIE. And our goal is to pick the actually 6 best companies from each of those venues. And in fact, to have TAG pick their 6, and TIE pick their 6, and the Ritz Group pick their 6 best companies in the pre-rev, rev, and profit from all industries. And that, I think, makes it really different, because one of the things that I really wanted to accomplish with this was not only acknowledge our winners, but I wanted to have those that didn't quite make it have a home in a place which they could grow and next year be one of the winners.
Well, I think, that's really a very strong point, certainly in a legacy of things like MindSpring and now, of course, AirWatch and some of the literally explosive expansion that's happened in, say, the mobility category alone, fintech, health, IT. On one hand, it's got to be exciting and intriguing to a startup to think that what great opportunities the actual bottom line results is all around me. And yet on the other side, I guess it can also be equally as intimidating, because not everybody's going to be a winner. Not everybody's going to be American Idol, if you will, if we're going to continue to do the analogy of television programming. Let's talk a little bit about how do you find the best and the brightest and the new and emerging companies. I mean, obviously, what type of companies are you looking for, but how are we getting the word out to try to attract them? Literally, I guess, through the 2 organizations you mentioned, they've got rich contacts and rich history, but maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's the 3 organizations. Mm-hmm. Not only is our executive producers have a vast network of traditional promotion, but then the 3 organizations spreading the word to their members is probably unprecedented in quote, pitch competition history of the city. And you mentioned the rich legacy of Atlanta, and that's really what we're also trying to do by promoting the ecosystem. And the ecosystem is really coming together to work as a unit. We're number 17, and Pittsburgh is number 14, and that just hurts, not to say anything against Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Sure. But we're out to try and improve it. We're the home. Atlanta's the home of Sarah Blakely and Spanx. It's the home of Truett Cathy and Chick-fil-A, and not to mention Ted Turner. So we have a rich history and a lot of very, very good organizations, and even more this year with some of our incubators that have sprung up that I think have a wonderful footprint, even better than the ones that we had back in 1998 and 2000 when they became in vogue, and then, of course, died with the bomb, right, along with other things. So, yes, we're excited about the fact that we are promoting the ecosystem.
Well, without question, obviously, to say you're right would be vain on my part. It's to support the fact that I have the same belief you do. One of the things about economic development is a sense of identity and a sense of place. I think when 20 years ago, 25 years ago, the buzz was Silicon Valley and everybody wanted to be a McDonald's. Can we be Silicon Valley? All we have to do is look like it, act like it, and we can be it. And the truth is that was, you could say it was dynamic or explosive. It was probably more phantasmagoric in the sense that it was a little bit of academia, a little bit of innovation, and a whole lot of luck and a little bit of magic dust that created that environment. And I think when we think about the verticals that we mentioned earlier, like health, IT, and fintech, you've got people that are not just startups, but literally now becoming disrupting technologies that are literally changing those whole landscapes. I know one area, too, is even the entertainment field, where just in the last few years, where we went from no real history, or thinking that it was an enigma or a temporary action, when in reality, I was talking to a fellow the other day that was saying that we run a history that almost goes back 90 years, believe it or not, in the film industry, and certainly 35 years with Ed Spivey and some of the people that started the Film Commission. So the idea that we're newcomers on any level, I think, is unfortunate, because there's no connection to the history, because a lot of cases, like the Technology Hall of Fame, it really doesn't get the kind of level of recognition and constant awareness that it rightfully deserves.
Well, you're right, it doesn't. And Georgia is one of the few states, others are following, that has an incentive for entertainment and gaming development. We also the home of the new Entrepreneurship Hall of Fame in the Epicenter that's founded by Mitch Schlemmer, who moved it to Georgia because Georgia has the potential and has a great history of entrepreneurialism. And we have Georgia is the second state to have a crowdfunding bill that is vastly better than the federal crowdfunding bill that the SEC is working on, and we should be proud of that fact because it can make a major difference in the way we fund young companies. So we have a lot to be proud of, and much work to do.
I agree. Well, obviously, one of the sweet aspects of this whole competition is a check for $10,000 at the end, which is no small matter. Obviously, I'm sure the publicity and a lot of the networking and exposure will probably lean more to that. Let's talk about how do I get involved. What's the application process?
Well, we'd like everybody not to split a business plan as it's normally done, but submit an elevator pitch, an executive summary. And if you really want to win it, a 2-minute video, shot with an iPad or a tablet, and submit it to the application, the Shark Pitch application. And then you select the venue or the organization that you would like to join to work with to win the top, to be part of the top 20. So you would select TAG at that point, or TIE, or the Ritz Group, and then they would be responsible for connecting with you to review your pitch, your material, your project, your concept, and then work with you to get it to be one of the best. And then one of the TAG, if you will, one of the TAG submissions on the top 20. Right now, TAG will probably have 6, and 6 from the Ritz Group and 6 from TIE, with 2 at large. And that's the goal.
Okay, so now, with just between you and me, don't say anything to anyone else, but tell me, what's the secret? What do they really need to win?
I wish I knew.
It's not a new swimming pool for Mr. Nice Guy or Mr. Wonderful, right?
The top 20 are going to pitch. Again, 2 minutes of pitch and 3 minutes of questions from 6 sharks from the community. And that's one of the important things that we try to do at the Ritz Group with our Shark Attack is bring successful entrepreneurs and icons back into the playing field. And we have 6 of them that are going to judge the 20 and narrow the field down to 6. And those 6, again, we're trying to do 2 pre-rev, 2 rev, and 2 profit companies. And those 6 will then present at the main event on October 12th to Damon John, Kevin Harrington, and 2 other local sharks, infamous sharks, for that event. The secret sauce, gosh, I say it's that special cachet. It has to be a great leader, and if you got a great leader, that's a great team. And it's a concept that's compelling, and a product that I think is foolproof, and a plan that's foolproof, plus the passion that they can really make it happen. And those who make it through the organization round to the top 20, they're already a winner. And the top 6, we're going to create a professional video to help tell their story so that our final event will be nothing but professional.
Okay, well, obviously we're right upon it. The dates that you're throwing out as far as the primary event is not that far away. Talk about the schedule of events that are happening now. You've got something coming up this week, and what's the progress leading to the final judging?
Certainly. This Thursday, the 22nd, we're having a meetup at the Georgia World Congress Center at the Junior Achievement Pavilion. And that will just be to introduce the whole process, make sure that we take questions in the field and everybody's comfortable with the 3 events. At that point in time, it's 2 remaining events. We're also going to present a panel of experts to talk about what's really happening in funding. And we'll cover there debt, bank loans. We'll cover crowdfunding. We'll cover angel and some VC criteria, what they're looking for. And so we hope that we give the candidates a great idea of what it takes to compete in the event, but also an understanding of what is important in each of their elements.
Well, it's Shark Pitch. It's coming on strong. It sounds like a great event. It's going to be exciting, fun, entertaining, and very, very important, very valuable, as you point out, to the ecosystem and to the individuals that compete and ultimately to the winner. Larry, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today on Tech Talk.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and Frank,